What's going on, guys? Appreciate you dealing with the bedhead right now like I have to in public. And we're back at it. I don't know when I'm going to post this video, but it is a Saturday right now. And what time is it? It's noon. I slept in today. I have a bit of an odd schedule. Well, I mean, actually, I don't really know if my schedule constitutes the word odd, because the more people you meet, the more you realize everyone's on a whole different clock with their work. But for me, so my only option at my work to be Monday through Friday was to take a shift at noon. Because of that, I wake up at 10 a.m. or around 10 a.m., like 10:15-ish. I get everything I need to get ready for the next day the night before. So then I could just kind of sleep in until the last minute. And I wake up at that time. I go do the cardio and possibly film one of these videos while I'm doing it. And then I go back and spend like the last half hour or so before work just collecting my things, getting ready, and being on my way. So like with the time I start in the day, which is like a middle of the day type of shift, like I would say like between noon and 3 p.m. It's kind of like your middle of the day stuff for when you can start work. So you have a couple options with that time. So one option is, because it's at noon, you could just go to bed very shortly after coming home at the end of the day, and then you just wake up at like 6 a.m., eat a meal, do some shit, and then go to the gym before work. Now, that's definitely a doable plan. I think 6 a.m. is probably a good time you want to wake up for that if you start work at like noon. The reason being, just like you gotta wake up and eat almost immediately, because you got to give it a couple hours for that food to actually start circulating in your system somewhat. So I would for sure like do that prior to weight training. So it's definitely doable. But I don't know, for me personally, so I've worked jobs where I'm either up at the ass crack of dawn, or I've worked jobs where I'm working overnights, and I've done each for a considerable amount of time. And through my process of working, I've gotten addicted to working out in empty gyms, because until you like consistently experience empty gyms, you don't realize to what degree like random shit is holding you up. When you're working out in the busy gym, there's a lot of like tapping your foot and standing around in between, moving from thing to thing, because there's so many damn people using everything. And you still might make decent time, but you don't actually realize like the magnitude that's affecting you. And you also just enjoy the convenience and availability of picking up any piece of equipment whenever you need it, whenever you want. It's pretty sweet. So because of that, I choose to wake up closer to noon and just go to work, and then get the rest of my shit done at the gym. But generally speaking, like, there would be situations where I would not do it this way. Like a big one is like if I became a dad, if I get my family started, that would be one where I for sure can't get away with the schedule I have now, because the priority should be being mentally present for your kids. So you can't just flake on that responsibility because you want the most convenience in your schedule. You can't do that. I think I was a bit redundant there. I think you could say utmost convenience. Whatever, sure. An English scholar will let me hear about that. But yeah, so I do that. And also, like, I've always been, I guess, more of a night owl. I've had like extended periods in my life where I'm like only waking up at like 6, 7 in the morning and getting out of my life. Used to have a job where I woke up at like 4:30 in the morning, but so I've done that. But I honestly, like, if I were to just be left to my own devices and do whatever the fuck I want, I'm gonna end up gravitating towards something where I go to sleep at like 3 in the morning. Just how I prefer it. There's less people at night, and the things I care about doing, I'm able to do at night. So I like it that way. But you gotta be careful too. You can't like slam a bunch of pre-workout at 11 p.m. and expect to be to bed at 3. that's just kind of a bad idea for you. Especially too, once you're done at the end of the night, if you have like a night schedule, like you have to start your next day on the right foot. So you need to assure that you could be going to sleep on time when you're done with that shit. Because if you don't, it fucks the whole next day up. Like, what are you going to do? Stay up till 7 a.m., go to bed for 4 hours, and then go to work? Yeah, I mean, you could probably get by doing that, but like, dude, you're going to be feeling it, and you're going to be disappointed with your performance in the gym. And you'll see it like actually fuck with your physique after doing it for a while. And that's going to bother you. It feels like you're blowing off the most energy, getting the least reward. So can just be mindful of that. And honestly, like I personally, I just prefer my schedule this way. You could be the hard ass guy that wakes up at 4 a.m. every day and thinks they're better than everyone because you work out at 6 a.m. Like, by all means, go be that guy if you want to be that guy. But I don't think it matters too much, just as long as you're executing your schedule to the best you can. So what I think matters. Like at the end of the day, if something were to happen to where like I'm forced to work out at some random hour that I'd rather not, well, that's what I'm going to have to do. So it's either that or nothing. And I do love this. I just also have the option to cater things to the best possible way I can for myself. Like my day is pretty strategic, I'd say, in bodybuilding terms, especially for someone that has a full-time regular job. Like, I wake up and I eat. I bring 3 meals to work. By the end of work, I've eaten that third meal I brought with me. So I'm already 4 meals in. I'm super hydrated because I have a giant jug of water with me. So my body's just like soaked up all the carbohydrates. I have a ton of protein in me, and I'm super hydrated. Like I'm already set up to have a great workout after work. A lot of people don't have the luxury of like eating and drinking water whenever they want. I do, so I could take advantage of that. And really, I mean, I'm like honestly like eating 4 meals and then going to the gym. Like, you are so stuffed up with potential from all that food you've eaten. Like, you have a way better odds of having a better workout. And I think it's honestly better for growth to have your bloodstream just circulating that much nutrients throughout like the whole day. Because what is that? Let me do the math right now. That's 2, 7. Yeah, so that's like over 10 hours of me just eating food and having it break down. So I'm ready. I'm ready for a good workout after that. Like, if you eat 1 meal and then go to the gym, I mean, you could have a great physique. There's people with better physiques than me that do that. If you're just talking about what like top competitors do, it's not that. Usually 2 meals, so probably about 5 hours after they wake up, they're working out, which that's enough time to have your body acclimated enough to get what you need to get done. Like, that's usually what professionals tend to do. Some of them do what I do. They just don't have the full-time job. But no one at a super high level is eating and then going straight to the gym. They're having multiple meals before they do that. So, and honestly, so if the best people are doing it a certain way, and they're the ones that are the biggest, and they're growing the fastest, if you have the option to do what they're doing, best utilize it to be the best you can be. But it also helps to follow the right kinds of people, because you could follow certain people and they're just kind of grifting you and saying lots of flashy stuff and having very colorful videos with like very poppy fonted captions and all kinds of flashing slides over and over. Like, they're just trying to impress you with colorful pictures and imagery, pretty much. And they're saying like outlandish shit because they need to get followers, and they say something different, people will listen to their message. Like, you don't want to follow those kinds of people. Like, honestly just helps to follow like professional athletes and whatever the thing is you're interested in. Even if you're just like a recreational casual person, it helps to follow professional bodybuilding, because you get to see what those guys are doing, and they're the best ones in the world at changing the way their body looks. So incorporating some of what they do, it's going to get you to where you want to be the fastest. If you want to lift weights and all that. Like if you just want to like be someone who runs and stuff, probably not. But I mean, there's inspirational figures in that regard too. The same thing applies, just like following them and soaking up the wealth of knowledge they have to provide. It helps to think about it that way, because if you follow a lot of these people, some of them might be doing something a bit out of the ordinary, but they might be the only one doing that. But if you could see across the wide spectrum of all these people, like common things that they're all doing to get better, those are probably the things you want to do. And if you have some kind of like wacky idea of something you want to try, well, then maybe that could be your placeholder to do that one wacky thing you see other bodybuilders doing. Because a lot of them, like 95% of what they do is what you'd expect. But maybe they're doing like some very out there obscure exercise, and they're doing it for one clear specific purpose, and that's to put an emphasis on a certain part of their muscle they need to bring up. Now that's a lot different than just trying to grow a muscle, because if I'm just trying to grow my chest, I'm going to do bench presses and chest flies. But if I'm attempting in theory to like add a little bit to my outer pec, but just there, like you might have to do some weird looking exercises that don't seem like it's the answer. So that's what they're trying to do, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the problem is people will see that, and they'll see 95% of what they're doing is like stuff they see everyone else doing, but it's that one or two exercises different. Now they're curious. Now they think, well, shit, he looks like that. He's doing this one unique thing. That's got to be the thing. So they all start doing whatever wacky shit they see this guy doing. And the truth is, he built his physique off of doing all the basic, boring stuff you hear everyone say. But he's reached a point in his development where he needs everything else to stay the same in one tiny part to get better. So now he's doing really oddly specific stuff to try and get that to happen. But the common eye sees that, and they think that oddly specific stuff is what they did to get big. It's not the case. And it leads to a lot of mass confusion out there. And it's not going to stop. Like when Sam Sulek came on the scene, I haven't seen kids doing normal barbell squats in forever now. They all have their heels elevated on a plate, and they're doing barbell squats that way because they see him doing it. They don't know why he's doing it. They just know that he's big and they look up to him and he does it. So that's why they're all doing it now. And it's not just him. Like, I think Nick Walker was doing like sideways hack squats at one point, or sitting in a chest press machine sideways and pushing it outward. And there were a lot of people doing shit like that. It's still to this day, I go to gyms where I see people hooking up cable handles to machines with perfectly good handles on them to pull it the same way but with an extra part on it. Like, they do stuff like that constantly. And to be fair, all those people look how you'd expect them to, not very good. But they do, they're very adamant that these are the things they got to do, and I don't know why. It's kind of like a step of logic was skipped in their head when they decided this was a good thing to do. They didn't really analyze the information they had available, come to a really good conclusion. They're just kind of making shit up. So anyway, that's kind of, it's like ways that people look at things that really obscure the truth, because the truth is still there. And maybe you got a bunch of kids doing this and now it's annoying you, so you see them all doing this stuff, but you know where they got it from. So like what individual they watched that like now they're inconveniencing everyone because they're copying them. That can make you not like the initial person. You could be like, oh, why? I hate Nick Walker now. And truth is, like, he's got nothing to do with that. He was doing that for like a very good reason, very good specific reason. Everyone else just misinterpreted the message, and now they're just doing it just because. And that's the part. Like, it creates a lot of miscommunication and really misguided thoughts about other people. An easy way to avoid it, I mean, is minding your own fucking business. But we all, you know, we're all not blind and deaf. We can smell too, you know. If someone smells like shit at the gym, you know, you're probably going to judge them for that. If you see or hear really out of the ordinary stuff, you're going to form some kind of opinion about that. But you still got to mind your own fucking business. If you get too invested in other people's shit, well, now you're not invested in your own. And that's a problem. Well, I guess, unless you don't care about your own personal achievement, then I guess it's not a problem. But you probably do. It seems like a nice thought too. So anyway, guys, I'm talking about nothing, but I don't really have anything today. I'm doing my cardio. I got a little bit left, and guess I'll see you on the next one.